welcome back to another episode of the Beyond the Playbook podcast. And we're here with episode three of our series of, where we recap the World Cup on a weekly basis. And why did we choose the apt day to, record? Literally the last group stage game had so much drama with it. Especially there was a lot of conspiracy theory with regard to that game as well. And yeah, before we get into the nitty-gritty of the round of 32 games, just wanted to get your thoughts on the entire group stage. So
Yeah, it's been a while, right? This whole group stage, it's been so exhaustive, but also so fun. Like each and every group has had some sort of drama or the other on every single group stage match day. So this has been really good, but I just can't wait for the knockouts because if the group stage is like this, imagine the knockouts.
yeah, definitely. We are already played 72 games in this World Cup. Out of we are more or less 75% of the way through of this World Cup, and we still have the knockouts left. And yeah, it was surreal, the entire way. Uh, Unfortunately, what happened to Iran was also very, very unfortunate. I don't think there was any. Probably the only fault I would put lay at Iran's feet was probably they could have taken care of business against New Zealand, and that's I don't think anyone was expecting New Zealand to play as well as they did, but yeah, they probably should have taken care of the business today, so that they're not reliant on other results now. And yeah, like the yesterday that goal which got chalked off by the slenderest of margins because of a very uh, lesser known rule in the offside rule, wherein you need to have two outfield players keeping you offside if you happen to be behind the goalkeeper, and it's very surprising. Very few people don't know that as well. And sometimes you get scenarios like this where we get to refresh our memories about the rule books, the rule set in football. So yeah, there was that, but they were super unfortunate with regard to that. And also today, the way today transpired, they need one of the results in the three groups to have gone their way. Like they needed Ghana to have beaten either Ghana to have beaten Croatia, or uh, DR Congo to have drawn uh, against Uzbekistan, or even lost. That would have been better. And Uzbekistan, to be fair, were very enterprising in their game against DR Congo as well. And lastly, they needed any result other than a draw in the Austria Algeria game, and nearly every scenario went against them. And yeah, it is what it is. Them's the breaks, unfortunately. And shout out to them. Like I think they need a special shout out due to whatever circumstances also they went through throughout the tournament as well. It's not like, and it was limited to just them. It was not a level playing field. So bravo to them, and they can hold their heads up by, regardless of that. That's what I would say. Like your thoughts. I think you also had them, you had them particularly doing well, but I don't think you were wrong in thinking so. That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, I think I wanted to do them. I wanted them to do well, obviously because of their circumstances and how they've been set up to fail at this tournament from the very beginning, even before the tournament started. It's a shame to see them go out, especially in this manner where every single thing has just gone against them. But they did well, honestly, and they can leave with their heads held high.
Yeah. So the format of today's episode is right now we'll recap how we've done in our the team draft right now, and out of the 16 teams which got eliminated, 12 of them were teams for Sai. But and I had four. No, but not to worry, because in the round of 16, round of 32, sorry, uh, I have five games in which my teams are playing against each other. So that way you have scope to make up, and also 10 of the matchups are between both our respective teams. So, and there are a lot of 50-50 games, so yeah, you can make up ground.
Right, so we're
So
going head to head. We are also going head to head in the knockouts.
yeah, so out of the 16 matches, 10 of them are between teams which each of us has. Five of them are between my own teams which I had selected, and one of the matchups is between your own teams. Yeah. So yeah, I think there is scope for you to make up ground. right now, as at the time of recording, you are currently leading, but that's also taking into account. I've added all the group stage exit points as well. So, like, for whatever the thing, so you're momentarily leading in the draft tracker by 15 points as a result of that. Yeah, correct. Yeah, 15 points. Overall, including the quiz, I'm leading by 45 points. So, yeah, like, I think today is your day to make up in the quiz as well, hopefully. So, let's not faff around. Let's go into like previewing the round of 16. And while we're doing so, like, just if you could, like, about each team, each of the matchups, if you can give like 1 to 3 words about each team based on whatever you've seen, like anything. Can be vibes, it can be anything. Uh, and then like we can give a little bit of small elaboration, and then we'll go on accordingly. Just to preview the game, and we'll give like our mini prediction of sorts how we think the game will go.
Okay, so both of us are going for every game, is it?
In the sense,
Like we're previewing each and every game of the round of 32?
yeah. Like we are. So because there are 16 games, we'll preview. So we're doing it in order also in terms of when the games are being played as well. So the first game is South Africa versus Canada, and this is happening at Los Angeles at the SoFi Stadium. So yeah, like what are your thoughts before we start?
Okay, so I feel in my eyes, I think Canada is going to take this one. I feel like they've been a little more consistent, at least throughout the group stages, compared to South Africa has been. So yeah.
I think like for me, I think South Africa are like if you follow WWE, they're like the Undertaker meme, the one where they just came back from the dead. Like they were literally on the verge of getting knocked out in the second game, as early as the second game week as well. And they needed a, let's just say, a lucky penalty, but still, regardless, they did their, I mean, chances no harm by escaping with a draw against Czechia and then putting in a really composed performance against South Korea. And I think, yeah, that's my one word. They're the Undertaker meme. And about Canada, I think uh, they've not, like, it's tough to evaluate them. That's what I would say. Tough to evaluate. That is my thing about Canada. And it's because I feel they could have done better, but also a little bit is because they've been missing their big players. Like they've not had Alfonso Davies play at all. They've not had their best centre back Moise Bombito play at all. They've not, and they lost one of their best players in the group stage, Ismail Kone, to a very horrifying injury. And yeah, like so they've been literally weathering injuries and you know surviving. Let's put it that way. But yeah, I would say like the rest of the team has put their hand up and actually stood up and done the job for them to qualify in second place in that group behind Switzerland. I was speaking to Philippe actually with regard to this game uh, in the previous recording, the second episode of our other series, and he did say that he always was a little cynical about how Canada would do against Switzerland. He always thought there was a gap between the both of them, and it showed also like a little bit. But yeah, like so, like his thing was like they probably could have shown a better account of themselves to get that home knockout game, like at least that one game at home. And like if they had won that game at home, they probably would have been there for the round of 16 game as well. So they've lost out on that home advantage. But one good thing for Canada, what turned out to be, they could have been facing South Korea, and that would have been a virtual away game because the Korean population is based in Los Angeles. They have like they don't have to face that against South Africa. So yeah, I think like Canada should edge it, but I wouldn't doubt South Africa. They I think they have that little bit of you say. I wouldn't be surprised if this goes to extra time, and then that's how it goes. Okay, so on to the first of many uh, eye-watering games, and this is the first matchup between both teams we've backed. It is Brazil versus Japan, and this is I think this has potential to be a real uh, nail biter. Like honestly speaking, like I've my thoughts on this is I don't think Brazil they've been mediocre. That's my one word for them. I don't think they've been. They've been little lucky to have been in the group that they were in. I don't think they were tested much. The only game they were tested in was Morocco, and then that game last half an hour descended into just chess. They were just keeping each other at arm's length. So I don't think there was much at stake for them in that game. And like I told you, and like I think in the even in the first episode which we did, I was super high on Japan. So I really genuinely think that Japan has a chance of pulling off the shock against this thing. And I think I'm going to stay on my thing that they are the dark horses. They are going to reach the semifinals. I have that. I'm like going to stand 10 toes down on that. And yeah, like there's no shame in losing to Brazil, but I genuinely feel they have the chance of beating them. Like, what do you think?
Okay, my thoughts on the second game. I'm with you on this. I think Japan's going to win.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You're
Uh,
picking against your team.
I know. I'm going against the team that I've picked, but it's because um, I don't know. I feel like Japan's got something that they've got to prove, and I think the best time to do it is against someone. Is against a team that everyone thinks is probably going to make it to the semifinals or the finals at least in this tournament. So I think Japan are going to get it.
Yeah, I think yeah, that's very surprising to hear. But I think it's more like the vibes also from Brazil, not really the greatest at the moment. Like it's little meh, and I think they're a very Vinicius dependent team as well. Like he's been on fire, and rightly so. I've had a lot of questions about him with regard to how he can carry a team by himself, but I think he's shown that in this group stage by scoring in all the three group stage games, and I hope he does it, but I hope at the same time the Japan pulls it off. Like I think this will go to extra time and potential penalties as well. So I think this could be the first penalty showdown which you see. Okay, now on to the third game in this smorgasbord of games which we have for us. So the scheduling is also a little bit weird. Okay, so we have one game today, which would be like yeah, today night, midnight, 12:30, and then the second game, which is a Brazil Japan game, is at 10:30 tomorrow. Nice time for us to watch it. Actually, a very optimum time. And then after that is 2 o'clock our time, Germany versus Paraguay. So, what are your thoughts on Germany versus Paraguay before I go into my monologue
I,
about Germany?
to me, it feels like a straightforward-ish game, at least on paper. I think Germany will edge it. I think they'll win it. Not even edge it. I think they will go comfortably. But again, knockout stages of a World Cup, you never know. But I think Germany will
Okay, so I am actually a little down on them. Like I have a the main reason being is I don't know. So my three words for Germany is they cannot deal with physicality, like essentially. They got bullied by Ecuador, and similarly also, let's just put it in the first half of that Ivory Coast game. So little they were little lucky that one Simon Adingra didn't take that shot, which could have probably sent Ivory Coast on top of the group. And secondly, Dennis Undav being the super sub, one of the best super subs that he is. Come and rescue them. So there is that. And see, like there are a couple of things okay, about the Ecuador game. I don't think I was dead against playing that full strength team that they played, and to play that full string team and to have lost like that is very embarrassing. Honestly speaking, they could have used that game to rest people and actually see there is a culpable deniability if you had lost despite that. Okay, we were not on it. Ecuador wanted it more, and we were playing like a second team. And also I don't think I mentioned it also in the uh, draft preview. I think Neuer coming back has just it's one of the most selfish moves I've ever seen a player do. Like in terms of his legacy, also he's kind of destroying the end of his legacy. Let's put it that way. By and he U-turned also from his retirement very very late, like in April. So and for Oliver Baumann, he didn't do anything wrong, and he was just jettisoned for Neuer. So and he's not really done anything to dispel those doubts from my end. He was like poor for that second Ecuador goal. Not really, and even the Curacao goal which they scored in the 7-1 game, it was I felt Neuer should have done better. Even the Ivory Coast game, not really very assured. So I think I think see they should negotiate Paraguay, but I think Paraguay will come with a different physicality, and whether Germany is able to answer to that is I want to see whether they're able to do that. I just want to be honest with regard to that because that is a big question mark, and this will be a tough game. They're not going to. It's and they've not kept a clean sheet as well, so I think I expect them to concede. It would be like a 2-1 game where they win probably in the last 10 minutes of the game. That's what I feel. Like I'm genuinely not that high on them. Like after seeing how they performed in that third game. And Paraguay, fair play to them. They did what was required. Beat Turkey, but not the best in terms of talent. They're just Julia, Enciso, and 10 men. So yeah, if Germany loses to Paraguay, big embarrassment. It would be as embarrassing as the prior two group stage exits, to so to speak. Okay, so now on to the wait, the fourth. Okay, so this fourth game in the overall list, and also the second most eye-watering game, Netherlands versus Morocco, 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday morning for us. And yeah, I think this has potential to be another great game because there is also the subplot of Morocco. A lot of the Moroccan players are also of Dutch descent, or they were born in the Netherlands. So there is that extra bit of edge over there with regard to that. I genuinely don't know where to call this. I think this is a very tough to call game. I don't have that feeling about Morocco or Netherlands for that matter, wherein I can call in either direction because I don't think Morocco have that tentpole central striker. They're a little bit wasteful, I feel, in front of goal, and I don't think they have that one main man like that attacker who can get them out of a like out of a tough spot. And I think this Netherlands team, they have overperformed expectations. They did play well against Japan, and they just fucking thrashed Sweden. And yeah, like I think they are more of the whole of the sum of the parts thing. So I genuinely don't know. I wouldn't be surprised with either result. Like to be fair. What about you, Sai? And this is a game where both your teams are playing, by the way.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm going to say I think Netherlands will win this
Okay.
because from the beginning of the tournament, I've sort of been not believing, but I think that they've got something in them to make it till like the end stages of this tournament, and they've done fairly well in the group stage games.
Yeah.
Um, so I think they're going to take this game.
I think yeah, and even also Netherlands, at least the makeup of that team is very suited to knockout stage, games also, like with regard to the defense as well and that keeper. So they have that a little bit of that edge over there. And I think this game will be decided by a piece of like individual brilliance. That's literally going to be the last thing. And I think Netherlands also they've all in prior tournaments as well. Even in 2022, they lost on penalty shootout to Argentina in the quarters, and prior to that as well, they always give you tough games. They're not like a easy out, and they take care of business against teams of their level or probably slightly lower. I would say both the teams here are of similar levels. So I think I probably am inclined to side with you here and think that they go through, but I wouldn't count out Morocco as well. They have been professional. Let's put it that way. With regard to the now this is the fifth game in this year setup, it will be 10:30 p.m. on Tuesday. It is Ivory Coast versus Norway. Uh, another a lot of really good games, like especially in this lineup. I think I'm not picking Ivory Coast here because they are my team and this thing, but I genuinely have been very impressed by them, and I think they have what it takes to put it across Norway, who are a little bit, they've not been at the World Cup stage for a long time. And even though they didn't negotiate, let's just say, a more stronger African team in Senegal, I think Ivory Coast will edge it. Like, I just have that feeling. So, yeah, fair play to Norway. And I don't like the way Norway kind of approached the last group game. They probably could have gone for that. I don't know. Like, I'm 50-50 on that. I understand the pragmatism why they didn't, but also a little bit, it's a bad taste in the mouth, let's put it that
Yeah, so I think Ivory Coast will win it. Um, because yes, as you said, they've been a little better than Norway have been in the group stages, and also because of this whole thing of 9 out of 10 of the African countries that have qualified for the knockout stage this time, and Norway have been pretty wobbly at times during these group stage games. So I think Ivory Coast is going to get it.
Yeah, they have conceded in all the three group games as well, so they're not really the most secure in defense as well. So there is that, and yeah, now we move on to the 2:30 a.m. game on the Wednesday. It is between France and Sweden. And I don't think there's much to be said over here. I think France are easily winning this. I don't see the only thing which could happen for Sweden is the front four of France gets injured, and then that's about the only way I see Sweden taking this. Like I don't think there's much to be said. I don't know whether you have any differing thoughts, but I think we are inclined to agree over here.
Yeah, so I also think France will win, but I feel like Sweden are going to give them a run for their money, but I think France will still win.
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
it's going to be closer than we think. That's what I think.
nah, like I mean, I honestly like that 5-1 against Netherlands is just. I think it'll be a similar scoreline. Like it would be one of the most rations. Okay, now we move on to another of our hosts, Mexico, playing at home against Ecuador. Little bit of a 50-50 game, not gonna lie. I think Mexico will take it because of the home support. But Ecuador also did show something. It's just that they are very anemic in front of goals, so that's why I'm not as inclined to pick them. That's so to speak. So that's the only thing against that. But I think yeah, Mexico have what it takes.
Same. I think I'm also going Mexico in this game. They have what it takes, plus the home. This thing is going to
Yeah,
fire them.
yeah. I think out of the three host nations, they have the best home advantage, right? In terms of fans, also the thing. So I think there is that as well. So I think that has to be a factor when we speak about Mexico. And even in prior home World Cups, they have reached the quarterfinals at least. So I think this would be somewhere along those lines. Correct me, I might be wrong with regard to that, but yeah, I think that they have reached the quarters in their prior home World Cups. We may have to fact check that. We'll edit this out if it is wrong. Okay. Uh, Now we are on to the one, two, three, four, five, the eighth game. We're halfway through the round of 32, and it is England against DR Congo. I think this will be an interesting game. I think. I mean, I'm a England hater, so there is that as well. But I think this will go similarly to how the Ghana game went. It's just that I think probably England, by dint of them having more better talent, will probably edge it like in extra time, like 1-0, 2-1. That's how I see it going. Like, because I think DR Congo have given a really good account of themselves. The way they negotiated the group stage, really good. Like they did what it takes against Portugal, and then Colombia. They were a little unlucky to have lost that game, but that I think the third game also gave a show of how professional they were. Like they were down 1-0. It took them until the 68th minute to equalize as well. So I think those sorts of games where you are the favorite and you're expected to win as well, those also show a little bit of a idea about what you are from a mental standpoint, right? From a mentality standpoint. So I think they have that little bit. So what do you feel?
Uh, yeah, I think England are the heavyweights here, and I think they will win it. Um, Unfortunately, I think they'll win it, even though I don't really want them to. But yeah, I think they are not going to go without are not going to go down without a fight, and a good fight that too. And I think they're going to leave all of us very proud of their performance. But I think England are going to win this.
Okay, now we move on to Belgium versus Senegal. It is a Thursday early morning 1:30 game, and I think this is also a tough to call game. Both teams have not really been the most convincing, even though one of them is a group winner. And yeah, like I want to say Senegal because I am more inclined to. I also picked them very higher compared to Belgium as well, but I don't know. I think I don't want to take a call. I really cannot take a call here. I don't. I'm not surprised by either result. What do you feel?
Yeah, like you said, like some of the other fixtures that you discussed, it's been two very good teams going head to head, but here it's two disappointing teams that are going head to head, and also Belgium, the way they topped their group is also not the best. Like they were on 5 points with Egypt, and
Yeah.
in a group where they had Iran and New Zealand, they could have easily just gone with like all 9 points, but they didn't. Uh, and They only had one win from this whole thing. So I think it's been very underwhelming, and Senegal again have been underwhelming as well. Uh, so yeah, this I don't know if I can call this, but I'm going to say Senegal.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by either result. I think Senegal also that last game. Both teams played well in the last game. To be fair, so that's also propelled them to where they are right now. So, but I kind of like the way Senegal's 5-0 win was much more convincing compared to Belgium's game against New Zealand, so to speak. So, yeah, I think, I don't know. I just think Belgium have the nous. They have KDB, they have Lukaku. So, probably because of that, they may edge it. But I really don't have a good vibe either way. Our next game is USA versus Bosnia. It's the early morning game on Thursday, 5:30 a.m. Indian time, and I don't think US will be threatened by Bosnia as much. I think uh, US should. They have to beat Bosnia. Let's put it that way. I don't think they are entering this with favorites. I want to see how they approach the game. I'll be interested to see. Like it should be like a professional 2-0 win, in my opinion, because I don't think Bosnia have shown much. They've been a good story, but not really been like the teams to watch off, to know about. Like I don't know whether you disagree with me on that, but yeah, I don't.
No, I also agree on that point because they've had a very good story coming into this World Cup, and you like have this positive feeling looking at their fans and the community in the Bosnian community in the US and how they come together for US and Canada also they played and how they've come for all these games and all of that. But I still feel like the US will get this game simply because they have been doing well on the field and again home support. I think all three home teams are going to do well in the knockouts, at least in
Yeah,
the round of
yeah,
32.
yeah. Yeah. There's that, and then Friday midnight, 12:30, Spain versus Austria. I think similarly to my thoughts on France Sweden, I don't think Austria has that edge against Spain. I think Spain also are kind of going through the gears a little bit. Uh, Putting aside the Cabo Verde result, where I mean they were a little disappointing there, but I think uh, like now that Yamal is also expected to start, like I think they have this covered. Unless you feel differently.
Yeah, I think Spain has this game covered. Austria again, like the way they last minute drew against Algeria yesterday, last night, to book their spot in the knockouts. Uh,
Very
could have
unconvincing.
expected better. Could have expected much better from them.
Yeah.
And I don't think they have it in them to take down Spain of all nations in the round of 32. So I think they will go down.
Yeah, I think Austria have been the definition of mid. Like that's what they've been in this tournament. Not really like that Algeria game they should have taken care of. Let's be honest. Okay, now we move on to another interesting game. A 4:30 a.m. Kickoff. Portugal versus Croatia. I'm calling it here. Croatia beating Portugal. I throughout this group stage not been convinced by any game Portugal has played. Putting aside, I'm not counting the game against Uzbekistan. That like literally everyone knew how that game was going to go, and it went exactly the way it went. And I'm like all the Ronnie fanboys, whatever. I don't fucking care. Yeah, Portugal are going to disappoint. They're going to lose against Croatia because they are so fucking dependent on one man when the team should be built around Bruno Fernandes. I'm sorry, I'm going to rant here, but I honestly think it needs to be said. Like they were lucky to have not lost against Colombia yesterday. Colombia had that last minute goal disallowed, which was very like a marginal call. I mean, it was offside. I'm not saying that it was not, but Colombia have shown more compared to Portugal, and I think they're losing against Croatia. Croatia also has shown, like, notwithstanding the England game, they have shown that they have that nous, they have that pedigree, and I think I'm backing them.
Same. It's any game against any game with Portugal in it, I'm against them. And they've also been very, I don't say disappointing because I'm happy that they haven't played well, but
Yeah,
they haven't done well. We all know why. We can all see the reasons. The reason is out there on
yeah,
the pitch, refusing to leave the pitch.
yeah,
So I think Croatia should win this.
yeah,
It'll be a disappointment if they don't win this, given how Portugal are playing and how this is an advantage. This is an opportunity to
yeah.
easily progress to the round of 16.
Yeah, we move on to the 8:30 kickoff on Friday. It is Switzerland versus Algeria, and I think Switzerland has this covered. I again like similarly to how Austria, we did say they were not convincing. Algeria similarly, they were lucky to have won the Jordan game. That their set piece supremacy, so to speak, put them like Jordan. Like on a side note, Jordan have given a good account of themselves, like in this World Cup. So like fair play to them. Just a little bit, they don't have the talent, so that's why they were not as good as they were. But I think Switzerland has this covered. Like genuinely, I don't see too many troubles for them.
Yeah, same. I agree. I think Switzerland will win this game as well. I don't generally have nothing to say for the case of Algeria. I just think Switzerland will get this game.
Okay, now we move on to the last day of the round of 32. It is the last set of games. It is Australia versus Egypt. I think this is a genuine coin flip game. Genuinely, I even though like I think I'm inclined to go with Egypt because of they've shown a little bit more compared to Australia. Australia showed that in the first game, but then after they've been very. I don't know. I've not gotten the changes which Popovich has made. To be fair, like he's chopped and changed, and if he's not going with that a more attacking, enterprising front three, I think that's trouble. That spells trouble against Egypt because who are a very similar side but have better or a higher baseline of talent, so to speak. So I think the coin flip game. I wouldn't be surprised if Australia wins, but I am taking Egypt here. What do you feel?
I want to take Australia because I've been rooting for them since the tournament started, especially with the group they were in. And they did make me happy against Turkey, but I think that may have also been more to do. They did play pretty well. Both the goals they scored were pretty good goals on the counter, but Turkey also did play very well this whole tournament, so that could have also attributed to it. Um, I want to say Australia, but Egypt have also been pretty decent, fairly decent. Both teams have come second in their respective groups, although Australia had a slightly tougher group. Um,
Marginal, I
with
would
the
say.
because they had the
Yeah.
hosts and they had Turkey in them. They did beat Turkey, but yeah, I feel like I my heart says Australia at this point.
I mean, I'm not. I won't be shocked if they win. Like because I do think this Egypt team can lose this sort of game. Like uh, to be honest. So then on to the second last game. It's Argentina against Cabo Verde, 3:30. Uh, okay, there are two. Like my heart is itself conflicted over here. I think I want to see the Cabo Verde story continue on, but I don't think they have that edge in attack to pose any problems to Argentina. The only thing they can hope for take this to penalties and go, like bow down to the penalty gods. That's about the only thing which I can see them, taking a result over here. And the way Messi has he's just been a man on a mission, man. Uh, to be honest with you, and I am actually like he's played without any burden on himself. Like I'm not saying he didn't play well in 2022, but here it's just like he's just been pulling everything. Like it's just been he's been chilling. To be honest.
Yeah, no, that is fair. And like he looks like a much different person leading this team compared to 2022, where there was a little bit of pressure on him because a lot of people said that that was his last. He also might have thought that that was his last and all of that.
Yeah,
And now that they've gone and won it, and even though people are saying that Argentina have it in them to do the double again, uh, he doesn't seem to be taking any like sort of stress or anything upon himself. He's just free scoring every game. Every game he scored so far.
yeah,
And maybe something about this whole thing being in the US and how he's settled in completely into this uh, into the US and how and like the atmosphere and then the playing conditions in the US. I feel like that's also helping him.
yeah,
Again, yeah, it'll be nice to see the Cabo Verde story live on and like continue and see them pull off this huge upset, especially against the defending champions and a team with Messi in it. But I think my heart also says Argentina because I've been supporting them for this tournament. So Argentina.
yeah, yeah. Like I mean, Cabo Verde they did go through. They came second in their group, but they went through with 3 points and all three were draws. So yeah, I'm not as convinced by them from that. Having that final finishing touch, so to speak. So yeah, there is that. But yeah, also I think this tournament because it's been in the US as well. I think this has acted like a. It's like I don't know whether he's going to retire after this, but it has also acted kind of like a retirement tour. Like all when you see these bands right who are about to call it quits, they go on this large tour and they go to all these massive stadiums and the vibe has kind of been like that. Like you get to see like this the greatest player of all time. I mean, so I've not seen Pele. I've not been alive to see Maradona as well, or at least top three at worst. So yeah, there is that. And we move on to the last game of this stage, Colombia versus Ghana. I think this has scope to be a banger. Uh, Despite that, I'm going with Colombia because I did tell you, like I was very enthusiastic about them. If you remember, like I actually think, and they did the business by winning the group as well. So I'm kind of indicated by how they've approached it. So I'm going with Colombia, but Ghana are a tough nut to crack. Like they showed that against England. I mean, I have my issues with England, but still they did come away with a nil-all draw against England and could have probably won that game. To be fair, like a little bit. But I don't know whether that's they don't have that. The attacking third has not been their greatest strength, so to speak.
Yeah, for this game, I'm going Colombia as well, simply because I don't want Ghana to do well because of one
Ah,
man again in that
of
team.
course. Yeah.
But yeah, Ghana also have shown that they're tough, that any encounter with any other team, you can't take them lightly. But I'm going Colombia for this one.
Yeah. It's fair to say that if the man they're a better team without that man. Like I think a lot of Ghanaian fans are also on board with that. So I don't know why they do play, but okay. So we have covered all the round of 32 games. We will probably the next episode we probably won't be able to review the round of 16 games. So it'll be mostly us uh, reviewing both the sets of games next week, and we will be going on to the straight to the quarterfinals based on when we schedule it. We'll schedule it accordingly so that no, probably we will be able to do it in time for the round of 16 game. Yeah, probably we will be able to do it in time for that. But yeah, interesting. So now we move on to the fun part of the episode, the quiz, and it is host countries and home advantage. That's the thing. So yeah, I've set all the questions at easy. By the way, I want it to be like close. I'm not being cocky, but I just want it that way. So let's see. Okay. So you ready, Sai? Like better prepared this time or whatever?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Okay. Okay. The first question is this: which was the first host country to have won the World Cup?
Options.
Okay. A Argentina, B Italy, C Uruguay, and D England.
Argentina.
Uh, you missed out over there. It is 1930 World Cup, Uruguay. The first
Ah,
World Cup was held in Uruguay, so they end up winning it. So yeah, it is Uruguay. So yeah, not the best, most
I'm
auspicious of
not.
start.
I'm not the best at history as well, but it's okay. I learned
Yeah,
something anyways from all of this.
yeah, cool. Okay, then we move on to the next question. Which country has hosted the FIFA World Cup the most number of times? So this particular country has hosted 3 times. That's the clue, you could say, a part of the question. You want to take this on the bounce or without any options, or you want options?
No, I need options. I need options.
Okay, so the first option is Germany. Second option is Brazil. Third option is Italy, and the fourth option is Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, that's the correct answer. You're on the board. So yeah, I'll update this later, basically. Okay. Now the third question is thus. So basically, you've gotten one question, right? Okay. Okay. Which World Cup was the first World Cup to have been hosted by multiple countries? So basically, two or more countries. So you want to take a guess, or
2002, South Korea, China,
that Japan? Japan.
Japan, Japan. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. But you're getting the bonus points over there as well. So 10 plus 15, 25. So you've given a better account of yourself in this quiz, so to speak. Okay. We're on to the fourth question. Okay, let's go a little recent over here. Which host nation reached the quarterfinals of the World Cup in the past four editions?
Russia,
Yeah, that's the correct answer.
because they beat
So
Spain in the round of 16.
correct, yeah. So they did reach quarterfinals. They lost to Croatia, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, yes. So yeah, you got another bonus. So you're on 40 points right now. And now on to the last question. So this will be a little bit of a, let's make this little, okay. What is the famous name given to Brazil's defeat against Uruguay in the 1950 World Cup? There's a very particular name. So I'll give you a hint so that you can take this. It's to do with a very iconic stadium. So yeah.
Brazil's win over Uruguay.
No, they lost to Uruguay.
Oh, Brazil's lost
Yeah.
to Uruguay, and it's
Yeah.
named after a very iconic stadium
Yeah.
in
Like
Uruguay.
the debacle was such that, it created a lot of, you know, national tragedy, so to speak, after that result.
Options:
Okay. Think, okay. Option A would be Belo Horizontal Stalo. Then B would be Maracanazo. C would be Maracanesi. And D would be the tragedy of Sao Paulo.
B.
What is it?
Maracanazo.
Yeah, correct answer. Yeah.
Like, I did think it was something to do with the Maracana, but I wasn't sure because you said Brazil lost. No such.
Yeah, so like the hint was this is a host country thing, right? So there is that as well. So yeah, so you've answered four out of the five. Good round. You were actually one away from getting the perfect round as well. So probably missed out on that. The first one was the which question? The
First host country to win the.
yeah, that was a little bit this thing. But yeah, like 15-15, we've gotten a total of 50 points in this round. So yeah, I think you're marginally edging it based on everything. So yeah, like I think we are done with the game, and I think this is the neck and neck, and I think we'll see a lot of more movement also in the based on these games as well with regard to the draft game. So yeah, so to speak. So I think it's here where we wind up, and this thing. I think it's a little bit rushed because there were so many games as well. We will be probably able to do a little more nuanced breakdown for the round of 16 games, and that also we can devote a little more time. But yeah, like thank you guys for tuning into another episode of this podcast of this series, so to speak. And any last words? Anything you want to say, Sai?
No, I have nothing to say. I can't. I can't wait to see how this whole week goes.
Yeah,
Honestly.
yeah, and the games are in more hospitable times, so to speak, for us. So yeah, let's see, and take care, and please like and subscribe as well. And bye bye, ciao.